for him. We'll start with Brian Christopherson, 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Tony, thanks for doing this. Ty Robinson's obviously a guy people are pretty interested in. What's your level? How do you feel about just where he's at right now, going from last year where it's sort of a learning mode maybe to now where he needs to really jump in the fire for you?
Yeah, Ty's he's made some tremendous strides. Especially now that we're starting camp and being in pads. Really excited for him. He's hungry to come out and be able to play for us. So expecting a lot out of him, and he's expecting a lot out of himself. So he's getting better and better every single day. Just for him, it's just the live experience. He's got the talent. He's got the size. For a big man, he can move pretty well. So when he gets in live game situations, he's got to continue to grow and get used to that tempo and that pace because it's hard to replicate that in practice.
How many do you feel good about right now as far as a rotation as camp kind of rolls into with your pads on now and all that?
Yeah, I think right now, with the young guys stepping in to play for us, Ty Robinson, Casey Rogers, those two guys, I think, just within the last couple months have made great strides for us. Feeling a lot more confident about them being able to come in and play for us. And just with them two adding to our depth, I feel good about having about 6, 7 guys ready to play. Jordan Riley's coming along. Keem Green's coming along. Obviously, DT, Snacks, and Stilly, those guys played a lot for us last year. So being able to have Casey Rogers, Jordan Riley, Keem Green, and Ty Robinson help seal up the load there for us, I think we feel good about having 6 or 7 guys ready to play for us.
Thank you.
Oscar Online, Sean Callahan.
Yeah, Coach, I'm just curious with a younger group, how important are these padded practices just because you didn't get the spring to really evaluate guys with pads on?
Yeah, it's really important, especially when we put them in live situations. Today we had live tackling, so it's a little bit different when you're taking on blocks and then you're using a block release move and then you're fitting up on a running back as opposed to now you got to tackle a moving target. So we can't get enough of those live situations. Coach Frost is doing a great job putting in those controlled tackling situations for us, but we can't have enough of those. But for the young guys, they're coming along. Ty Robinson, I really like how Casey's been able to grow and develop for us. They're going to take a lot of reps for us, and they're going to help us out a lot this year. So looking forward to that. But the more we can be in pads, the more we can be able to strike against the offensive linemen and try to throw them and get in position to make a tackle on the running backs, the better for us.
And then is Feldarius Payne, is he with you or is he playing with the outside linebackers right now?
Yeah, right now we're trying to get him some reps outside. He does a good job with, being able to rush off the edge. So we're going to try to utilize him to the best of his ability. So I think he puts a lot of stress on offensive tackles to be able to give us an edge rush. So he's working with Coach Dawson right now.
Thank you.
Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald.
Hey, Coach. Stopping the run in the Big Ten has been a struggle for Nebraska for a number of years. I guess I'm curious, how would you describe kind of your vision for how the line helps in stopping the run within the scheme, and maybe what's your optimism that it could do that here this season?
Yeah, well, first of all, to stop the run, it takes 11 guys to be able to stop the run. Everybody's got to know where they fit within the scheme of the defense. But for us up front, it starts with controlling line of scrimmage. We got to be able to get knock 'em backs. We got to be able to press the blockers. We got to be able to get off blocks to put ourselves in position to make a tackle. So those are the things that we're trying to emphasize, being tough and physical at the line of scrimmage. I think we have the guys this year that have the length, that have the size to be able to help us out with that. I feel good about having Jordan Riley, who's a big body for us at 6'6", 340. Ty Robinson, a big body at 6'6", 6'5", 325. Keem Green at 315. So we got some big bodies that should be able to help us with that up front. But it's being able to do that consistently, not just one snap. And so that's what we're really trying to emphasize, being tough and physical up front.
Hale Varsity, Derek Peterson. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, Tony. For Ty Robinson specifically, with him being a young guy, do you want him focusing on one position, or is he going to be playing both inside and outside for you on the line?
Right now, I got him playing defensive end and nose guard for us. So he's going to be a combination player for us, similar to what we did with Carlos Davis last year, being able to play end and nose. He's got the body type and the athleticism to be able to do that. So he's not the only one that I'm trying to cross train. I think we're trying to do that with most of our guys. They're athletic enough and big enough to be able to play in for us and also be able to play nose for us. So right now for me, it's just trying to find the right combination of guys that can play together. But Ty specifically is a guy that's going to be able to play end and nose for us.
Got 3 more in the queue here for Coach Tuioti, so we'll take those before we move on to players. Mitch Sherman, the athletic.
It's not ideal to just jump in Big Ten play in any season. Probably even more of a challenge when you got Ohio State and Wisconsin right out of the gate. They both bring back 50-plus starts on the offensive line, and then Penn State in week 4 has 80-plus starts back on the O-line. What does that do for your preseason preparations with your guys right now, knowing that they're going to, some of them are less experienced and are going to be going up against so much experience right away?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. We can't control that. The only thing we can do is control how we play up front, playing with great fundamental and technique. And the thing I love about these young guys is that they don't know any better. All they know is just to be scrappy and play hard. And so we know that the challenge is out there. That's why these young men come here to the University of Nebraska, because they know they're going to be playing against some of the best offensive linemen in the country. And there's no better way to just step up to the challenge each and every week. For us, whether it's going to be Ohio State or Penn State or Wisconsin, okay, Illinois, it doesn't matter. We just got to continue to play the right way, play our brand of football, be physical and stout up front. And our young guys are going to have to learn on the fly. It's just like you just got to drop them at the deep end of the pool, and they got to swim. And these young guys are eager, they're prepared, they're fighting every day to try to get themselves ready to show up when it's game time.
As a follow-up to that, what does your offensive line, Nebraska's offensive line, do to help in that cause? In that you got 5 starters back on that side of the ball for the Huskers.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, being able to compete with those guys each and every day. We got a veteran offensive line, and one of my favorite periods of the day is pods. When we're going one-on-one against the offensive lineman, and it's big on big, and low man wins, and trying to get knocking backs and play with great leverage. They get us better. And I hope every day that we try to get them better too, because iron sharpens iron. And the competition has been awesome in pod period. I wish we can start practice with that, because the attention, the tempo, the tenacity picks up a lot when we're in that period. So we just got to be able to take that from pod period to 11 on 11, then hopefully transition over to game day.
Lincoln Journal star Parker Gabriel.
Hey, Tony. I'm curious about Damien and, the conversation, you talked a lot last year about, being able to play more than a couple of snaps at a time, 6 snaps, 8 snaps, that sort of thing. I know you haven't gotten all the way into it yet, but where is he on that arc? And do you think that he's trending toward being that kind of player for you?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm really proud of Damien. He's come out and he's competed each and every day. He knows that he's got to get himself in shape, and he's doing everything he can to do that. I think he's pushed his threshold to a point where he can probably play 6, 7, 8 snaps for us. He's doing everything he can in conditioning after practice, and I'm really proud of just the way he's been able to attack practice each and every day. Obviously we have young guys coming in to compete for his position with Jordan Riley and Keem Green and Ty Robinson, and Snacks shows up every single day, and he's been awesome. He's been having some great practices for us, been dominant at the point of attack. But that's what we need out of him. We need that veteran leadership from him, and I'm just glad that he's been able to step up to the plate and know that, hey, it's his time to lead and bring the young guys along with him, because Snacks is somebody that I definitely, if we're going into war, going into a fight, I want to go fight with Snacks.
And last one for Coach Tuioti, Sam McEwen, Omaha World Herald.
Thanks for doing this, Coach. What are 2 or 3 really important things that your players have to do to earn your trust so that they can play on the field? Like, what are the 2 or 3 things that you like do's if you're going to play for me a number of snaps in the game?
Well, first thing we talk about is being physical. got to be tough, relentless, and then got to be accountable. Those things we talk about in our room each and every day. Being able to trust you that you're going to do your 111, do your job. Don't do any more than what you need to do within the scheme of the defense. Trust your brothers next to you that they're going to do their job and do your job and execute at a high level. Number 2 is be able to just knock somebody back in the run game. Be physical and tough. And if we can do that each and every day, dominate the line of scrimmage, be accountable and knowing what you're doing within the scheme of the defense, and then lastly, just play with relentless effort. Run to the football for 48 minutes, and I think at the end of the day, that's got to be our motto. We got to play harder, tougher, longer, and be smarter than our opponents, and we got a chance if we can do that on a consistent basis.
How far has Keem Green come in those 3 areas in the last year?
He's come a long ways in terms of understanding the playbook. He's come a long ways. He can play end for us now. He can play nose for us now. Last year he couldn't learn the nose guard position. He could only learn one position. But now he's grown in understanding the defense. Just with this pandemic, that's been a bonus for us too, to be able to have extra meetings for these guys. And I'm really proud of how they attack those meetings. They could easily just go into autopilot and not care about what we're doing. But I'm proud of the young men for taking advantage of this extra time to meet, these extra practices that we've had to put themselves in a position to be able to put out the best product we can. So Keem's done a great job of learning the defense and then also running to the football. That's been the biggest thing for him, is just being able to be relentless and running to the football, not just sometimes, but all the time. And I think for our young guys now, our junior college transfers that are coming in, we need those guys to help us. But they got to do it our way, and they got to do it each and every time. So once we can get those guys to do that, I feel a lot better about them being on the field more and more for us.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Coach Tuioti.
Appreciate it.
We'll move on to players here in a second, guys.